pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Welcome everybody to Daytona International Speedway, where we are racing Xfinity cars here under the lights with the Racers Elite Special Event Series. I'm Alan Bergen in the booth, and joining in with me here momentarily will be Chris Murphy. But we are knee deep in the qualifying here, just 2 minutes in to be exact, and we're going to be bringing you every lap from the green flag to the checkered flag right here in Sim Racing Media and on YouTube, or on Sim Racing Media Facebook page and the Racers Elite Network. Gotta forgive me, guys. I am backwards here, but nonetheless, a Friday night of rarity, as we got a full field of Xfinity cars ready to go here, and Haas Beverly is sitting on, well, just as I say that, Davis Shively. Chris Phillips goes quick time with a 50.97. Taking a look at the race information here, it is a balmy, well, it's a comfortable 77 degrees with 76% relative humidity under a partly cloudy sky here tonight, and the track temperature is 82 cool degrees. As we get down to qualifying here, like I said, we Cody Benelli is going to be on the front row. So far, 3 minutes into qualifying, he's got the provisional pole so far. And that's not going to do what I want it to do. There we go. Much better. Cody Benelli, on the front row here. We got a ton of drivers here. John Ross near the end of this pile. Truth Oak near the end, near the bottom of the pile. Eric Howard gonna go fast time. Brandon Sanfilippo. There he is in that number 12 car. Brian Matthews. Frank Chavez sitting on pit road. So we are 5 minutes into qualifying. Stephen Blevins will take fast time here with a 50.94. That's the time to beat. Brandon Sanfilippo in that number 12 car. He is working on lap number 1. Troy Thomas right now sitting 7th on the speed charts. Adrian Torres in at number 16, the tide ride. Brandon Sanfilippo going to be good enough for 22nd on his opening lap. And joining me in the broadcast booth is my broadcast partner extraordinaire, Chris Murphy. Chris, how's it going?
Hey, Alan, how you doing?
Hey,
good to be here tonight.
Look, we're at Daytona in the Xfinity cars, a full field here, and so far Stephen Blevins has put it on the front row.
Seems like a lot of super speedway races going on the last few weeks. Daytona, Talladega. See how this one shapes up tonight. We've seen some really good racing over the last couple of weeks. Last Friday night with Racers Elite was one of the best ones I'd ever seen, where we had a three-way tie coming across the line for second place with Andrew Teff taking the win in that one. So looking forward to tonight and see what the Xfinity cars are going to bring.
Well, on to the second lap, Brandon Sanfilippo has put that number 12 ride on the provisional pole with a lap of 50.94. As we got a couple other drivers out here. That's Kyle Wells and the number 81 car, sponsored by Mobile One. And he comes to us from parts unknown also. A lot of these guys come from the woodwork, and, these guys, Andrew Tuff puts on these 3 events. It doesn't look like he's in the car just yet. He is. And here's the thing, Chris, Andrew's been under the weather all week. So a win here tonight would definitely be good medicine for Andrew.
It's amazing. It's amazing sometimes when you're not feeling well, you get in the car, the adrenaline of being in the car, it just kind of fixes everything. So hopefully Andrew can get in there and get some laps put in. I'm sure we'll see him towards the front before it's over with.
Absolutely. As Adrian Torres here on the clock. Adrian Torres comes to us out of, again, parts unknown, but he's got that tide ride at number 16. He's on his second lap. He's going to go the 22nd quickest. Rick Kennedy. He comes from parts unknown also in that 2 car. A lot of drivers coming from parts unknown.
Yeah, I'm not. Unfortunately for me, I just sat down, got my overlay updated, and it's not really pulling up all the information for me. So I'm missing the hometowns and stuff at the moment. But I'm trying to get that fixed right now.
That's okay. Want to thank everybody for joining us here on YouTube and the Amazing Media Facebook page tonight. So we're streaming both places.
Just streaming in everybody's homes tonight. It looks like.
Yeah, everybody's home. Everybody's gonna be watching. And, look, I'm excited. I can't wait. As Rick Kennedy goes quick time with a 50.92. Look, I can't say quick time like the World of Outlaws guys, but the World of Outlaw late models, the real American beer late models, are in my hometown of Peabody, Missouri, for the Firecracker Face-Off. So we got that in the background too. We're going to be checking in on that. We'll give you updates as the night goes on. As it looks like time has expired on the qualifying session here. Chris, we're going to go 100 laps, but before we do, we got a little bit of housekeeping we got to do, and that's to go over that grid here, as Rick Kennedy's going to put it on the front row. Steve Blevins will start on the outside. On the inside of row number 3, out of Driving Extreme Incorporated, will be Brandon Sanfilippo, while Eric Howard will start to his outside. Cody Carson will start 5th. Cody Benelli will start 6th. Chris Phillips will start on the inside of row number 4, while Rick Chavez will be flanking him to his outside. The inside of row number 5, the Nitrous Cowboy out of Misfits Racing will be Troy Thomas. To his outside out of Hickory, North Carolina, it'll be Truth Hoke. It's an all Misfits row number 5. Row number 6 will feature Christopher Pindell and Daniel Jackson, while Davis Shively will start 13th. Haas Beverly will start 14th. Aaron Wright will roll off 15th tonight, while Kyle Wells will roll off in that 16th position. Ryan Dimulin will start 17th, while Brian Matthews will start 18th. The boss John Ross will start in that 19th position, while Chase Morales will start 20th. 21st will go to Austin Norris, while Pete Pelini will start 22nd. Adrian Torres will start 23rd, while Blair Holloman will start in that 24th starting position. Starting 25th will be Andy Schmidt, while Daryl Cizelli will start in the 26th car. And the president and owner of Racers Elite, Andrew Tuft, will start 27th, while Trevor Woodward, he'll start 28th. Rolling off 29th, there'll be Christopher Polgate. Terry Fennell will start 30th. Aaron Marquis, out of the Misfits Racing stable, will start at 31st. 32nd will go to Steve Castle. Trevor Fetting will start in that 33rd position. 34th will go to JB Harrison. Barry Nelson in that 196th start. 35th. 36th will go to Jack Kelly. Rolling a little bit deeper to field, Brett Gray will start 37th, and rounding out your 38 car field will be Blake Davis. A full field, 38 cars. We are just just short of a full NASCAR field.
Well, usually when we're doing these shows on Daytona and Talladega, I'm always trying to guess what the fuel mileage is going to be when we're going to see green flag stops but with 38 cars. I'm going to be shocked if we don't have a couple of cautions here and there that's going to shake up those green flag runs.
Absolutely, and Andrew Tuft starting deep in the field in this one. I mean, this is last week we had Gen 4s, the week before that we had trucks, and you and Emmett Crow brought the Gen 4s, and that must have been cool. These are a whole different beat, these Xfinity cars.
Yeah, that Gen 4 race, like I said earlier, was one of the best races I've seen in a long, long time. So hopefully we can get something close to that with the Xfinity here tonight. It's the first time I've covered the Xfinity cars here at Daytona, so it'll be a little bit new experience for me. So we'll see how they group up. I expect to see a lot of 3-wide racing, a lot of 4-wide racing. I'm watching Andrew Taft going to come back from where did you say he was back there in 27th, starting, or actually back there in 29th. I think we're going to see him towards the front. That's a nice thing about Daytona here is you can come from all the way in the back of these things and make your way to the front. So it should be an exciting event here tonight.
Well, as we get ready to come to the green flag, Barney's got the green flag in hand, but there's only one thing left to do. It's to pull the 5-part harness. Grandma, grab some popcorn because race day is settled in. It's showtime here in Daytona.
And it's going to be that number 2 Toyota of Rick Kennedy out in front. But right up alongside is that Days of Thunder tribute car, 51 there, Stephen Blevins. Side by side right now, we are 2x2 all the way back throughout this field. Kennedy getting a little bit of about a car length run out in front here right now, but you're going to see that 51 get a good run on the outside as they go down the back straightaway down into turn number 3. And we'll see who can lead lap number 1.
Right now, it looks to be that 2 car, Rick Kennedy, with Steve Blevins. He was outside as these awesome shots
Yeah, that mellow yellow 51 Chevrolet up on the outside. It's a really nice looking paint job they did on that car. And it looks like he may have the lead as they come across the line for lap number 1. And it's going to be Steve Blevins out at the point right now. Kennedy fighting back on the inside.
Now this race has the potential of going green to trigger with no caution. And, I probably just invoked the announcer's jerk, the announcer's jinx.
Well, I'm new to the game here. I've only been covering races for probably about the last 3 or 4 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks now with Sim Racing Media, and I have yet to see a race go caution free, so it'd be really cool to see this one do it. But we are going to see some guys. We're going to see who is. There's a lot of, you got to be really patient here, and you got to be on the ball the whole race.
We had
and there we go.
And lap number 2. And it's just going.
It looks like it's Cody Carson getting turned.
We're going to get to the It's going to be David Shoe. Well, let's go to Cody Carson also.
Yeah, it looks like Cody Carson can't tell if he came down in front of the nose of the 28. It looks like maybe he did a little bit. They made a little contact. So the 45 spins off the nose of the 28 car, and then from there it's just all hell breaks loose. And it looks like we got about 15 or 20 cars all involved in this.
Well, the good thing is they get a fast grip. The bad news is all of those cars had gotten caught up in that early accident.
Yeah, the 28 of Chris Phillips there makes his way up to 4th right now after that little bit of contact there with Cody Carson in the 45. It kind of started that whole melee, as we'll say. And we are caught. I hope we didn't jinx it. Bring out the announcer's caution, but we are under our first caution just 3 laps into this race.
And that's the thing is, when we're league racing, we see the same drivers week in and week out. Now when they have these special events, then you got different drivers into the mix. And these guys are trying to figure out who they can run with and who they can't run with, or who's going to be the drafting partner they want to be with. But nonetheless, there it is, Troy. A lot of drivers involved in this race, in that first caution. And, some drivers are going to have to look these cars back around to the pit area and get that all-important fast repair.
Yeah, when you're jumping these, and I see a lot of names on this leaderboard right now that I haven't recognized from our last Racers Elite race. So when you jump into these races in and out, you got to find who your friends are. You got on a track like this, you got to find who your friends are really quick if you're gonna keep the car up front and make your way through, or even make your way through the pack. As we see a lot of guys still in the pit, still under repair. Trying to see where Andrew Teff made his way to after all of this. Looks like he's moved up about 8 spots up to 21st, but he must have been involved in that as well because he is also in the pits. So our big mover right now is Blake Davis in the number 4 Chevrolet. He's up to 14th right now. He started back in 28th.
Yeah,
So he did a
Bray
good job of missing the crash.
Brett Bray also is up 23 spots. Checking into Dirt Car Super Late Model qualifying, Ryan Shirley takes quick time in Group A easily, and Group B goes to Ryan Unziker. Ryan Shirley takes quick time overall. And right now they're Dirt Car Modified Hotline qualifying. So we're going to keep you updated on the all things racing.
I got the shade already falling on the track, so we're going to see the track temperature cool down. Going to see the cars tighten up as this happens. We don't. This was the fixed setup race, was it not, my friend?
Oh, it's fixed setups, all right. That's one thing that Andrew Tuff does, is he makes it to where you don't have to spend a lot of time going over a setup. But we're gonna get ready to get lined up here 2x2, and Joe was our stop behind at iRacing.com pace car. And that's the thing about this. This is a great way if you want to race in the Racers Elite family of racing. You got to complete 5 of these pickup races, and they're free to enter. And if you got time and you want to go off some steam on a Friday night, why not?
I need to hook my wheel up and get running some laps. I haven't turned any laps in quite a while, so maybe I'll try to jump into when he's on a Friday night as well. Maybe we can announce and drive at the same time. That would be a trick.
That would definitely be a trick. It would be trippy, but the lights, the sun's going down, the lights are coming on, and get ready to go back to Great Flag Racing. More than likely, I'll let you 7.
Looks like the lights are coming back out on the pace car. Looks like we're gonna go around one more time. I'm not sure what that was for. Looked like we were gonna go green, but it looks like we're gonna have to go at least around one more lap.
I sure hope you paid the light bill.
Still see a lot of cars in the pits, making some repairs back from that earlier incident.
So while you get your fast repair, Chris, you gotta decide whether, if you got a little bit of damage, 100 laps at Daytona, in the grand scheme of things, not a lot of time. And a lot of these drivers would hate to burn a fast repair on the opening lap here.
That makes some sense. I like that. I really like that paint job on that 2 car. That American flag there on the hood. Just really sharp. Somebody's done some nice work on that. Spent a lot of time on it. Hopefully you can stay out in the front and avoid any carnage on it. Have to do some more repairs. It looks like our boy, the 45 of Carson, it was involved in that early crash, is now out of the race. It looks like we've got maybe 4 or 5 cars out of this race already. With Woodard, Carson, Puglies, I'm going to pronounce that wrong, I'm sure, and Chavez all out of this race. Only 6 or 7 laps into it.
It's a 4-way tie to the beer stand.
Hopefully it's well stocked for him.
I would think it is. I mean, come on. You don't want to. It's a race you don't want to win, but someone's got to win it. That's the lights have gone out on that iRacing.com pace car. We're getting ready to go back to green here on lap number 8. Now, you got Kennedy on the front row, Brandon Sanfilippo on the end, onto his outside. as they come down the back straightaway, and hopefully they don't wave off the green flag to come by, which it doesn't appear so.
Looks like we're going to come around and go green here at the start of lap 8. They're head down this long back straightaway.
I think they need to run a NASCAR road course. You know, here in Daytona, just run the road course. But nonetheless, here we go. Get ready to come back with green flag racing here on lap number 11. It's going to be Bredesen Football and Rick Kennedy on your front row. The field's going to get bunched up behind that iRacing.com pace car. Want to take a minute and thank everybody for joining us here on Facebook, with Racing Media, and YouTube with Racing Network. Barney's got the green flag in hand. He's going to swap colors here. There he goes. Unlike Daytona and Talladega, Daytona's flag stand is right here in the middle of the tri-oval as Kennedy, Brandon, and Football going to bring the field back to green flag racing.
Kennedy with a good start, gets about a car length distance between him and the 51 of Steve Blevins, and puts Sanfilippo back about a car length as well. So let's see if Blevins can get to the back bumper of Kennedy and give him a little bit of shove before that outside line gets a run and starts coming by him real quick. As you can see, that 12 car and that 28 of Chris Phillips, just that 2-car tandem up there on the outside, is making a really good run towards the front, and that's going to push Filippo to the front. And we're going to have a new leader here. Number 12 Chevrolet is going to find his way to the point here on lap number 8.
Yeah, Bredesen Football to the outside, but that outside line is going to get swallowed up by the inside line. Here they go. We're having fun now, and we have our
second caution.
And this one, come on. We're not supposed to do this.
Looks like Christopher Pendell involved.
Christopher Pendell just got KO'd. We're going to back that up just a hair.
It looks like he came off the... There's something going on in front of him there, and he's checking up, trying to get down out of the way. And he gets collected by the 41, it looks like.
So like Andy Schmidt here. I'm glad your eyes are better than mine because, well, let's back this up and we'll see there.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of contact there. I'm not sure if you're looking at the same thing I am, but Andy Schmidt, some contact with the 98 car of JB Harrison, and that turned Schmidt around and up into the wall, and he collects the 94. And that 94 Christopher Pendell hits the wall hard.
You can send all your hate mail to I don't care at simracingmedia.com.
And our leader Kennedy is going to dive down into the pits, going to take advantage of this caution here, come down and get some fresh rubber on. And that's going to leave Sanfilippo out there on the track at the point.
Ten laps in, Christopher Pendell is not happy right now.
And I did a race the other night where we had 12 cars started, only 5 finished. I'm hoping we don't see that here tonight. But we are down about, it looks like about 8 cars have already checked out of this race.
And this
I was going
to say, this might be a race of attrition here tonight.
Yeah, it looks like we had 35 cars take the green flag. And it looks like we're down to probably about 27 or 28 at this point, from what I can tell. We are 10 laps in, or 10%, if you can do some math.
My math is not going to math after the day I had to. Nonetheless, I mean, I would say that as far as cautions go, it's only 65% fuel in these cars. So
Gonna have to probably make at least one, if not two stops, with only 65% fuel. I always try to guess fuel mileage, and I'm always wrong. So
welcome to Sim Races Media, where you're always wrong on fuel mileage.
we've got the 12 car of Brandon Sanfilippo from Jacksonville, North Carolina.
That's where he's
from. Kind of hanging out here late tonight. Nice evening race for North Carolina boy here out in front. Chris Phillips here, the 28 car, involved in our first caution earlier. And then we go to that Days of Thunder number 51 throwback of Steve Blevins. Cody Bunnell, Eric Howard, your top 5 right now, as we are lights out. We're just coming off a turn 2 here down the back straightaway. Is Chris Phillips trying to race the pace car there? Or?
I mean, look, Chris Phillips, his crew chief came on the radio, told him to hit the pace car. And he asked why. He says, well, he's hit everything else on the track. He wants perfect.
I feel like we should have had a drum roll after that one.
My math may not be mathing, but the jokes are coming out like a fine wine.
All right, we're heading down the back chute at a blistering pace of 71 mile an hour. Get ready to go green here. It's going to be the start of lap number 12 when they take the green. Brandon Sanfilippo. Hope I got that right. That's got to be the only way to pronounce that right.
I mean, there's too many consonants and not enough vowels. But nonetheless, here we come off turn number 4. Here on lap 11, getting ready to start lap number 12. See, iRacing.com pace car pulls off, makes a hard left turn. And
Sanfilippo.
Sorry.
Oh, you go ahead.
We're back to green flag racing.
Sanfilippo with a big jump right there. You really don't want to leave that car behind you, that big a gap. But luck, fortunate for him, Chris Phillips tucks in behind him, and they're going to team up here, try to get away a little bit of this 2-car draft. But I think you're going to see that 51 of Blevins pull up on him here real quick. I think he's got such a good run. He's going to go to the outside here, down the back straightaway. That 19 car of Cody Bunnell is going to leave him hanging and tuck back in on the inside behind the 28 of Chris Phillips. So Chris Blevins Stephen Blevins, jumps to the outside. Thought he was going to have some help, but they left him alone, so he is going to get shuffled back here in a hurry. Oh, little wiggle right there. The 28 pushing on Sanfilippo in the lead. Gets him a little bit loose coming off the corner, but a nice save there from the 12 car. And we are still clean and green.
Coming down for lap number 14 right now. Brandon Sanfilippo is your leader. The boss, John Ross. He's up 15 spots. And he is in that number 44 car. He finds himself running in that 4th position, while Steve Blevins has dropped 3 spots, and he is back down to just inside the top 5.
I also want to give a shout out to our boy Andrew Teff, started back in 29th, and that number 98 Ford. He is all the way up to 12th right now. He took a little peek into the top 10, just lost a couple of spots, but he is up 15 spots right now, and he's making his way to the front. But our big mover right now is Blake Davis, up in 6th, started 38th in this race, up 32 spots, and that number 4, and he is charging to the front. I think we're going to see him make his way to the point before it's over with.
Yeah, absolutely, and just to say that, Barry Nelson back here, and 12 goes quick time with a 47.81. We're on board with the High Rock Truckers 196.
He just gives that 16 car of Adrian Torres a big bump. Says, let's go to the front. They're getting a good run on the outside. They're going to jump up and team up with that 51 of Blevins. See if they can get Davis up there in that 4 car as well. And they're going to see if they can keep pushing their way to the front and get past that inside line.
Here's the battle for the lead. And Davis going to go with Phillips there in that 28 car. It's on your screen.
4-car Davis again started back in 38th all the way up to 2nd now. He is pushing Chris Phillips to the point. I think you're going to see Phillips jump down to the bottom as soon as he can in front of that 12 car, but not able to do it right now as a 12 of San Filippo gets a good run on him coming through 3 and 4, and he is going to get back to the point as they come off headed for the trial. We're getting ready to start lap number 16. Little contact there in the 4-car Davis into the wall, and he's going to save it.
That was impressive.
Nice job of driving right there to collect that car and not pile up the rest of the field behind him. But that's going to let that inside row get a run, and they're going to get a little separation from the outside, and that's going to be the 12 car of Filippo back out in front. The 19 of Cody Bonelli making his way to 2nd, and that John Ross, as you were talking about earlier, in the 44, now up to 3rd. These cars are dancing everywhere. These guys got their hands full right now.
You know, I would have thought that, whenever I was racing these cars, especially on a super speedway, that they could not hold the line, but it turns out that's just how these cars are. That's how turbulent that area is in these race cars.
Oh, if you go to the in-car, one of these guys, you can just see them fighting the wheel back and forth as they're just wiggling around. Not to mention, you got guys behind you trying to push, and if they don't get square on that bumper, it's going to get you a little bit out of shape as well, and you're just trying everything you can to hold on. But the air is moving around so much with these cars. You can see them just dancing back and forth. And I'm looking at that 44 John Ross. I'm getting kind of hungry with that White Castle on the hood of that car.
Do you have White Castles out there?
Unfortunately, we do not.
Well, you don't know what you're missing.
Well, I know what I'm missing, but I live in the wrong part of the country for White Castle.
This is your chance to start a White Castle movement.
We just got an In-N-Out burger for the first time, so we're moving up in the world.
Whoa!
Oh, we got nice save there. Is that Davis down on the inside? He got a little help there, but I can't believe he collected that car. That was a heck of a save there by Davis. Or excuse me, by John Ross. And it looks like he is going to park it.
Now we're on. Oh, did he blow the motor?
Maybe.
We gotta back this up. I think he blew the motor.
You think that's what happened?
Well, here's the boss, John Ross.
Oh yeah, he did.
There's
Yep.
the fucking smoke.
Yep. And he backed up. I think that was the 86 car. It didn't really have anywhere to go. I think you nailed that one right there. I think he did pop a motor.
Oh boy. And that's how hot these cars get when you're bunched up in the field. Now he might have that faster pace, so it might buy him another go round.
He's going to probably lose a few laps for sure.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Chris Phillips continues to lead Brandon St. Filippo and Cody Pinelli in the number 19 car. Steve Levin, the last car in this group. Looking a little deeper in the field, Colton here leading in second. And he's got the 85 car, Davis Shipley. And Andrew Tuff up 20 spots. He is well inside the top 10.
Yeah, we got a 4-car breakaway right now, as you're saying. Chris Phillips out there in front. Blevins back here at the back of this pack here in 4th. And we got about an 8 or 9 car pack back here trying to catch back up. I think that Ross blowing a motor there kind of separated this pack as we were watching that replay. And we're going to see if this second pack can team up here, get in line, have a little discipline, and see if they can catch that 4 up front. I think it was about, they got about 9 or 10 cars here. If they can just get lined up here, don't do anything crazy, I think they'll run down that top 4 pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's that second group, and I think they're all listening to you, Chris. As we got a couple guys going to the outside, but for the most part, they're going to stay in line and stay hooked up.
Yeah, they're about 2.3 seconds back right now. We'll see how that shakes out. It was about 2.7 about a half a lap ago, so they are making up some ground. I missed the rules for this race. Was there stage breaks, or were we just all the way through?
No, we're all the way through. Racing Elite does not run any stage breaks in any races whatsoever.
Good to know. Thank you for that.
We are on board with the pride of Ocean Valley, Rhode Island, Andrew Tell.
Andrew Teff started all the way back there in 27th. He's up to 7th right now.
Aaron Marquis,
good running.
Up 23 spots, has gone quick time.
He's tucked in that draft right now. All these guys in a line. You can see now they're down to about 1.7 seconds. So they picked up a second about the last lap and a half on those top 4 cars. And they are coming in a hurry. Looks like they're about maybe 15 car lanes, maybe 20 car lengths away right now. I guess let's see what kind of head of steam they get when they catch these 4 cars. If they can just jump right to the outside. If we're gonna see one of these guys up here in the top try to jump up and block, we could have a little bit of excitement here in about, I'm guessing about another lap or 2, as they're now almost within 1 second right now, and they are coming to the front.
There's the eyeball test from Steve Blevins to Rick Kennedy. Now, the question is, when they get there, who steps out and who tries that outside line?
Yeah, it looks like they didn't quite have as much a head of steam when they got there. They're pretty much just going to fall in line right here. That 2 car, Kennedy's going to tuck back in, but as I say that, Taft is going to jump to the outside, and he looks like he's got the 41 Marquis right there with him. So we got Taft and Marquis up on the outside. They help bring that pack back up to the leaders here, and they're going to go to the outside here and see if they can make a 2-car run, as they're now working on the outside of that 51 of Stephen Blevins.
Andrew Tuff, the winner of last week's race, looking to double down here on the Xfinity car. And this has always been Andrew's bread and butter car right here. He's always run well in these Xfinity cars. No surprise to see him up towards the front field.
Tapped and Marquis with an impressive run right there. Just 2 cars on the outside, and they just went by about 4 or 5 cars with only about a half of a lap time or period. But Chris Phillips is going to make his way to the front. You can see he moves right up in front of Taft right there to block that outside line. And Taft and Marquis having to back off to keep from running him over. Oh, Taft tries to squeeze on the outside. And a little bit of contact. That puts the 28 of Phillips into the wall a little bit. And then we got another crash going on in the back. Didn't quite see who that was. And that is going to be Chris Phillips in the 28. After that little bit of contact with the wall, he is now down and out of this race. Yeah, it's Phillips is blown up. There's another crash back there behind him, but I couldn't quite see who that was.
Oh, no. Tough break for Adrian Torres in at number 16 tied.
We're still clean and green, no cautions. Surprised we didn't see a caution there, but it's going to be Sanfilippo back out in front. Benelli second, Kennedy third, Tefton fourth, and Blevins rounding out the top 5 right now.
I feel like we're down to 14.
Think we're down to 14?
Yes.
Lost 21 cars.
I could be wrong.
Right. I'm looking at the standings right now, and I think you might be right.
Ryan Dimulin's still on track right now. He is on lap 18, while the rest of the field's on 26. 27 rather. John Ross, he's done for the night.
The attrition here at Daytona in the Xfinity cars is, what's the correct word? Atrocious at the moment. We had 38 in the lobby, 35 took the green flag, and we're down to 14 on the track right now.
I feel like it's the Royal Rumble. You just gotta be the last man standing.
That's what it looks like right now. You know, that 19 of Benelli's just kind of tucking in behind Sanfilippo, just putting in some laps right here. Just kind of wants to finish and stay out of trouble. My money's still on Teft right here. If he didn't get too much damage when he made that little contact with Phillips when they caught the wall. He's kind of tucked in that 4th spot. We've got about a 12 car, 10 to 12 car pack here right now, all out in front. And right now it's going to be any one of these 10 drivers to win this race.
Working lap number 29 here. And right now we got Brandon Sanfilippo. He's up there in the lead. He's up 2 spots. But here's your pick, Andrew Teft up there making it happen in 4th position, right in line. Let's go on board with Rick Kennedy, and maybe we can see damage to Andrew's car. It's fairly clean.
Hey, looking from the outside, I don't see much damage on it. It doesn't seem to be. We had a lap car stuck in the wall over there, but it looks like all top 10 cars right now appear to be damage free as they're all holding pace, just kind of single filed out here. We still have 70 laps left to go in this race. I hope it's not my bad luck. This would be the second race in a row with some really heavy attrition that I've covered. Last week with early in the week, the Gunners race, we were down to 4, basically 5 cars running at the end of that one. So Teft's going to make his way to the outside. Did he just make that pass all on it? He did. He made that pass all on his own on the outside of the 2-car Kennedy. Teft just jumped to the outside and motored past him up into 3rd. That was an impressive move right there to do that with no help.
And that's going to move Andrew Teft up 24 spots into 3rd. I feel like we're watching Jeff Burton back when he won at New Hampshire from the last place starting position.
It may have been one of the races I missed.
It was a long time ago. He was driving for Jack Russell.
Didn't Burton always drive for Jack Roush? I don't remember him driving for anybody else. Did he?
He drove for RCR.
Okay.
He was in the 31 car for a while.
But Andrew Teft, Rhode Island. So surprising he runs these late night races, being the leader of this, being all the way from the East Coast, especially from Rhode Island. He likes to run these late night shows, which helps me a lot, being on the West Coast.
It helps me out too, because I'm smack dab in the middle of the country. I want to thank some partners here: KS Designs, Mozo Racing Wheel, Go ahead and scan those QR codes right there in the corner. Admin box. Let's see, Premier Setup Shops. We are working lap number 32, getting ready to cross over to 33. We're going to go ahead and step aside, pay some bills here at Sim Race Media. You're going to go side by side. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway, where Brandon Popo continues to lead over Cody Benelli and Andrew Tessler with lap number 39. Now to discuss the 100 laps to be run here. I'm Alan Bergen, and he's Chris Murphy. We're just south of St. Louis here, and the Tony Trapasso Memorial Studio. Right now, you know, it's almost thousands to Brandon Popo. And Chris, this is a track where you don't want to have it too clean.
Now, if you get too far of a gap out from the guys behind you, they're just going to team up and run past you. So you know, even if San Filippo was feeling a little bit better, he's going to keep back up to that front bumper, Benelli, just so he can keep pace and they don't just go past him and put him to the back of this. But he's been doing a good job leading this race. You can see him every once in a while kind of get a little separation, and he backs up to Benelli. Benelli doing a good job of pushing. They're going to come up through some lap traffic here. 3-lap cars up on the outside, staying up out of the groove. Just doing the right thing, staying away from the leaders there.
And the other thing we have to pay attention to is, one, we're at lap 40. We have 61 to go. The other thing is, now we're battling engines are dying. You know, we've had a couple of drivers blow an engine in their car. That's a byproduct of plate racing here, super speedway racing. Is you want to give that driver in front of you just enough room where you can get some air on that motor and cool it down. So you don't want to be glued to the back of the car in front of you too long.
And what you'll see some of these guys doing every once in a while is just dipping out to the outside of the inside of the car in front of them. A little more air getting that radiator. Just cool the car down. You can kind of see Teff doing that right there, dipping to the outside of the 19 car, just catching some air.
Don't forget to check out Sim Racing Media on YouTube, as my buddy Chris Murphy and Shane Cochran bring you all the action from the Stars of Strip 225 from the ECR Cup Series. And I tell you what, Chris, that's going to be a blast. You're going to have fun with that one tomorrow.
Back at Daytona again tomorrow?
Back at Daytona again.
I'm going to have to move to Florida.
I mean, look, Daytona is the retirement home of America.
I've pulled up Andrew Teff's. Andrew Teff's got his live YouTube up right now, so I'm pulling up and kind of looking at the temperature in his car. He's got the water temperature right now to 219. And he's kind of, like I said, he's trying to do what he can to kind of keep the car cooled down a little bit. Like you said, we did see a couple cars blow up already. We've just single filed out here for the last. We got I'm sure. Let's see. Top 2 cars have not pitted. Either has the 5th or 6th place cars. We're gonna have to come in and get some fuel here at some point. We're about halfway through here. 43 laps of 100.
Just as you say that, we're going to go on board here. Blair Holloman. Now, Blair Holloman likes to throw it back to some of these old school drivers. And let me bring up this camera here. Now, if that paint scheme don't give you chills, I don't know what will.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with you because I do not have your screen up right now.
Right now, Larry Holloman in that 32 car has thrown it all the way back to Robbie Gordon. I haven't seen a singular wireless car, in about 20 or 30 years.
.44 laps in here right now. That is a good looking car. Finally pulled it up on the screen right here. That number 32 singular wireless car. It's a nice looking piece. Nice work done there.
He shows up to the track with that every week.
If Robbie Gordon would have had half the success in NASCAR that he did in the off-road trucks, he'd be in the Hall of Fame right now.
Meanwhile, the 13 car of Brett Bray is a lap, just one lap down. And then he's got the. Well, here's some other drivers that are on the track right now. Haas Beverly about 4 laps down.
I'm looking back to Ryan I'm gonna butcher that last name for sure.
Demulin.
Demulin. I'm guessing maybe. You sure it's not? You sure it's not Cajun? Demolin or something like that?
It might be. We got cars coming up pit road. Eric Howard in that number 76 car. He's gonna come up pit road here and get some services done.
Are you trying to change the subject from my horrible pronunciation of people's names?
Slightly.
Well, we got 15 cars left out of the 35 that started.
Half the field is at the Troy Thomas trailer, enjoying some frosty cold buffalo.
Yeah, the wrecking crew with the Smasher is going to be busy tomorrow, collecting all the carnage. Oh, and we got our leaders come down to the pits, San Filippo and the 19 of Bonelli diving down into the pits. Lap 47. If this is a fuel stop, they're definitely not going to make it to the end. We're going to have at least one more stop before this is over with. But that is going to hand the 27th starting number 98 of Andrew Teft the top spot right now. He pitted back on lap number 9, so he's got a few more laps left here in the tank before he's going to have to dive down into the pits. And he has got Rick Kennedy in that good-looking number 2 car right behind him there, along with the 51 of Steve Blevins. That's your top 3 right now, and they are just all in a single file line.
Well, just as you say that, here's Aaron Marquis. He's up 27 spots. He picked up one more spot than Andrew right now. As Pete Pelini's going to come down pit road, and you got to be careful. A little lock up on the tires. He's a little hot coming in on the pit road.
Yeah, we talked about at the start of the race that we had 35 cars starting the race, and you could win from just about anywhere. And Teft and Marquis are both showing us that. Marquis with a good charge to the front, starting 31st all the way up to 4th in a number 41 Chevrolet. And he's just being patient, just tucked right there in line. Just kind of dancing around up and down the racetrack, but just being smart and not doing anything crazy right now. They've got the lap car, a couple lap cars here in front of our leaders, that 16 car. Did those two guys right there in front just come in for a pit stop? Is that what I'm missing?
Yeah. You're 100% correct.
So Teft's got a little drafting partner there in front of him to help pull him away from that number 2 of Rick Kennedy. And actually, these 2 slower paced cars are actually pulling our leader along, and they're putting a little bit of separation behind him. But as I say that, here comes the 2 car Kennedy right back towards the back bumper of Teft.
Just as you say that, checking in on the World of Outlaw Real American Beer Late Model. It is now 9:53 Central Time, and we are just getting ready for opening ceremony.
That was a good. If you watch that, are they at Houston's again tonight?
Yeah, the Real American Beer Late Models are at the Federated Ice-Certified Auto Parts Race.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was looking at the sprint cars are at Houston's again. That was a good race last night. If you missed that one, West Coast boy Buddy Kofoid taking the win in the World of Outlaw sprint cars last night at Houston's.
Yeah, I feel like he's got the car to beat out there right now.
Yeah, he looks really good in that number 83. Strong last night. I thought Larson came on there towards the end, but just a little too. It took him a little too long to get around the. Was it Courtney? I think he was fighting with her for quite a while. But I thought Baylog looked good all night long too. He'd come home in second. Baylog was really looking for that paycheck, being a smaller team.
tell you what though, they have 52 UMP dirt car late models signed in for tonight. And they're going to be doing this all weekend. Don't forget to check out the High Bank National Massachusetts Speedway. That's where the person talking about there. The who's who's of sprint car. And I feel like that equals or is actually a little bit better than the National National.
Any good dirt racing on a Friday or Saturday night's a place to be. I need to. Been looking for some dirt races. I've been stuck here with the pavement guys here for a while. I need to go back home and cover some dirt here somewhere.
We're working on it. Andrew Tubbs is working on it now. And he's got the number 16 car right in front of him, and that number 16 car, not him. Oh heavens.
Yeah, we've got the 98 car here leading us right tucked in behind the 2 lap cars is the 76 car of Eric Howard and the 16 of Adrian Torres.
That's who it is. I was searching for it. I think Adrian used a little shout, minor shout. Got the car all fixed up.
He's doing a good job, just kind of making some laps out here. You know, I give credit to the guys that finish the races. You know, I'm one of those kind of guys. If I get into a race here, I'm going to finish it, no matter where I'm at in it. You know, and you know, it's not a league race. You're not really running for points, but they're out here making laps, and I give him credit for that. Even though he's a lap or 2 down here at this point. I just like to see guys finish. I don't like to see guys quit just because they're having a hard night or things haven't gone their way.
We haven't met yet. You know, I've raced with these guys a lot. And last season, I got spicy on race radio to the point where I kind of almost needed a psychiatrist. I was close to getting therapy.
Well, I can attest to being in a race car. It's not sim racing is not close to it sometimes, but you know, adrenaline will make you do some stupid things. Is what I always tell people. I can show you some videos on YouTube of me doing some pretty stupid things when you get fired up. But sim racing is kind of the same way. You get all ready to get going on here, and we got everybody diving down into the pits here. Our top 3 into the pits: Kennedy, Teft, and Marquis.
Is this their way of trying to make this a one-stop race?
I think they pitted back on lap number 9, so they went what was it, 46 laps under green. They got 45. Yeah, they're going to be able to make it.
That might be the move of the race.
Are they still going to come out with the lead here at this point?
Andrew
It looks like Tefts is still going to come out with a lead here after that pit stop, but he's got a little bit of it. He's going to have to let Kennedy get back up on his bumper. They're going to have to get teamed up and get drafting real quick, or that 4th and 5th place cars might just catch up to him. And as I say that, here they come, the 47 of Pete Poloni pulling along that pack with San Filippo right behind him and Bonelli, and they're just going to drive right past Andrew Teft.
Andrew Teft, the lone wolf out there all by himself. He desperately needs Rick Kennedy. He's got to back up to Rick Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy and Marquis need to get up on that back bumper of Teft if they're going to have a chance to get back up front. But we do have 44 laps left to go. He must be getting a little bit of a drafter because he's starting to. Teft might be actually gaining back on those guys in front of him right now. He is just a little bit. He's at least holding his own. Those 5 cars in front of him are poking a big hole in the air, and he's actually catching up to him.
I always say
Yeah, not having the experience of being in these yet, I didn't expect him to be able to catch a draft from that far back, but for the second or third time in this event here, I was wrong.
That's me on an everyday occurrence.
I don't think we've said the name of Pete Poloni yet tonight. Maybe the second time, as he's out in front with Sam Filippo second, Cody Benelli third, Shively Blevins rounding out the top 5, and our previous race leader of Andrew Taft back there in 6th, looking for a way to move up through the field here as he's now caught up to these top 5. And Kennedy and Marquis actually falling back off the pace. So we're down to a 5-car race at this point, or 6-car race, sorry. If we don't have another caution.
If you're in one of these races, Chris, that's one part in the car that you want to see in your rearview mirror. And he is just about as good as anybody to go drafting. We have 43 laps left to go here.
Well, the one thing I've witnessed tonight with Sam Filippo, he's not. I haven't seen him make any mistakes. He's been patient, not doing anything crazy, pushing where he needs to push and backing off when he needs to back off. So I can see why you would say that.
Just as we say that, you know, if I had a car that looked like Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s car up there in the front of the field, I would back off too.
Stenhouse not one to hold his words back, that's for sure. You know, we're talking about that late model race there on Dirt Vision. There's a race on Flow right now. If you have that, is the NARC 410 sprint cars racing up at Skagit, up at Algiers, Washington. And a little bit of trivia for myself for that. I ran the very first IMCA modified race they ever ran at Skagit back in 1994. So yes, I'm that old.
Man, way to show your age there, and you know. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing right now. Federated Auto Parts Raceway, they're in the now 10:02. On a normal night, we are loading up the car to come home. But tonight they are starting everything.
Are they still out there prep? I looked a minute ago and they were still out there grading the track and watering it. So
look, we're praying now, so that's a good sign.
you know, my money's on this race here. Going back to this real quick, Sam Filippo. I think we're going to see Sam Filippo at the point when this thing is over with. He's just been putting himself in the right place at the right time all night long.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to go Andrew Taft out of Hope Valley, Rhode Island. Now, looking at the pylon here, Poloni, and Andrew Taft are up the same amount of position. But Andrew Taft is just kind of keeping that car together to the draft, but he's still far enough back if anything pops off. He's got time to react. We have 40 laps to go. Over halfway in this one.
I think the big question mark is, and something I have zero data to argue for or against, is that Bellini pitted back on lap 47, San Filippo on 46. Can they go 53 to 54 laps? If we go green the rest of the way, can they go that long on fuel? I think that's going to be the question right there. And if that is, if they can't make it that far, then it's going to be tapped easily to the front of this when it's over with.
I think Brandon Sanfuco and Pete Bellini are going to back that up because they're going to get it all down to the last drop.
Starting to see some guys maybe showing a little impatience. As Benelli looked to the outside there, San Filippo didn't really have a run, but he tucks back up underneath, and that 12 car just doing a really good job here, just pushing Polini there out front, just again being patient, just waiting for his opening.
It's almost like being coached in baseball. They said, just wait for your pitch, wait for your pitch. I think Brandon's in football stepping into the batter's box will give a pitcher a hard time.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned either, but if you look back to 7th and 8th, Kennedy and Marquis have both caught this pack. So we are now an 8-car pack up here in the front. 37 laps left to go. It's still anybody's race here. Well, at least anybody in the top 8 anyway. As they put another lap on that 22 Haas Beverly.
I mean, how discouraging is it to run?
It's pretty disheartening. I think we're seeing some of these guys. If I understand the way the world works of iRacing, they're just probably out there just trying to improve their safety rating. Just trying to get some laps logged in, finish this race. We're down to what, 15, 16 cars left on the track right now.
We started with 38.
We did start with 38. I think 35 took the green.
Nonetheless, I want to thank you for last week covering this, the Gen 4s for us here in Racers League. And, I had a great date night. So.
Yeah, it was. Thanks for letting us jump in there. It was had a lot of fun with Emmett. Unfortunately, I didn't get a very good replay of that finish. I really wanted to make a good video out of it, but my quality of the at the end of the stream kind of dropped off, and I forgot to save the replay. But that was just a heck of a good race there at the end, 4 wide across the line. That was really fun. I still think we're gonna.
That doesn't wake you up in the morning. I don't know what will.
I think we're gonna, even though we're down to 8 cars here in this lead pack, I think we're gonna still see something similar. It looks like Filippo is now gonna look to the outside, but just doesn't have quite enough of a run to get alongside of Polini. I believe it's mathing better than it was earlier in the event.
Oh, thank goodness! It's like
you're improving, and that's what's important.
Just like some of the drivers. No, but
I haven't seen that yet.
We joke all the time that Jonathan Lee says, "Oh, your math isn't mathing." I said, "Well, we're not doing math. We're doing St. Louis math. St. Louis math is a lot different than regular math."
And why is that? If I dare to ask.
Here in the Midwest, we measure everything out in grams. Or as Dave Riegel says, we're doing St. Louis math.
I understand where you're going now. I apologize for you having to explain it to me.
You're good. You're good. This is kind of where we get kind of out of here now. Whoa. Maybe I'll let it take it down. Brendan said football always goes down. I actually learned this on the Dale Jr. download. So you know how they have the double yellow line?
Yes, sir.
You can actually dip your left tires below the first one.
I was not aware of that.
I actually learned that from the Dale Jr. download when he took Cletus McFarland around Talladega.
Can't tell if these guys are getting a little impatient here. We're kind of seeing some more shuffling around, or if they're just kind of relaxing and moving around, trying to find some different grooves. But we're definitely seeing some movement here. The one guy we haven't really mentioned in this is Davis Shively back there in 4th out of Fairfield, California. kind of just been up there in the front, for the last 30, 40 laps, not really doing anything crazy. He was up he was up towards the front of that race last Friday night in the Gen 4 cars as well. So I think Shively's going to stay up here. We might see him poke his nose to the lead before this is over with.
So as they come working down the back straightaway, we're going to take our final commercial break of the night. We're going to bring you the rest of this race commercial free. When we come back, we're going to go side by side. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. We're here at 26 laps to go here at this one where Pete Polini leads here at lap 75. Brandon Sanfilippo leads here, or is running second. Cody Benelli running third. Andrew Tent has fallen all the way back to the 6th position. We're going to be commercial free the rest of the way here. And, here we are 25 laps to go. Things are going to start getting cranked up to the north side of Creek.
Yeah, we're going to see some guys starting to make some moves here real quick. And like we talked earlier, we're still unsure whether these leaders can make it all the way on fuel. We can see some shakeup here at the end. We got 8 cars here in the lead pack. It's anybody's race at this point. Everybody kind of dancing around back and forth up and down the racetrack, but really haven't changed positions in about the last 30 laps or so. It's Polini, Sanfilippo, Benelli, Shively, Blevins, Teff, Kennedy, and Marquis. Our top 8 cars here, and then we got a few stragglers back there in the back, some lap cars hanging on.
Yeah, the lap cars
what do we have?
hanging on are pretty much on life support right now. Night is starting to fall. We're definitely under the lights now. Let's take another look at the weather right now, as the track temperature is now a cool 79 degrees. And, Chris, I know it doesn't matter up there in the Pacific Northwest, but down here in the retirement home of America and then the Midwest, humidity is everything. And that humidity will smack you right in the face, while it is a cool 76 degrees in the grandstand.
Another reason to stay in the Northwest.
I mean,
But you see go ahead, sir.
Midwest, we always say that it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for the
And as we see the track temperatures cooling down like this, the cars, the engines really love that cooler. You're going to see some more horsepower, but at the same time, the car's usually going to tighten up a little bit. Not really seeing that much here. Looks like everybody's got the handling on these cars dialed down or dialed in. We're 22 laps left to go in this. Polini, Filippo, Benelli, Shively, Blevins, your top 5. We gotta give some credit to these guys out here in the back. We talked about the top 8 a lot, but you go back a little further in the field. It's Eric Howard back in 9th, Blair Holloman 10th, Brett Bray back here in 11th, Daniel Jackson 12th, Aaron Wright 13th, and I think, let me see, we still got the 14th place car of Brian DeMolian and Adrian Torres still out there on the track, so that's our 15 cars still running out there on the track here. Torres back there about 10 laps down. Actually 11 laps down at this point. Just making some laps, like I said earlier, give him some credit for that. Just putting in his time.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, speaking of humidity, we are actually under a heat advisory. The humidity gets so bad that even I have it back here.
I'm assuming you have no hair. That's what makes that funny.
Well, I have a lot of hair. I just don't like
it. Well, we're in the Northwest, and as usual, it's raining here right now. So it's a cool, like 50 degrees and raining, which we kind of need. So.
From trade?
No, sir.
It's not a dry heat. If it hits 85 in the Northwest, you guys are under a heat. You guys call 85 a heat.
Yeah, I grew up down in Arizona, so I know all about that dry heat.
That's a dry heat.
20 laps left to go. Go ahead, sir.
I was going to say, come to the Midwest for about
coming up on 19 laps left to go in this race as they make their way through 1 and 2. Polini, Filippo, and Benelli. They've done everything they can to just kind of stay together out in front and make this as boring as possible. But eventually here somebody's going to have to make a move. But you said it earlier, Filippo is just a really good drafting partner. He's stuck right there with Benelli this whole time. not doing anything crazy. You know, he's got up there and he's pushed when he needed to, and not got up there and made the mistake of catching the corner of the left, one of the left rear, right rear quarter of Polini and turning them around. But if anybody out there is watching, this is kind of new to super speedway racing and drafting. Just watch what that 12 car is doing. You're going to learn a lot.
Well, this is that we're going to introduce a new word called cooperation.
Did you stutter?
No, it's cooperation.
I don't even think I want to try to say that. Are you're going to define that for us?
Well, cooperation is where Brandon said football, with about 2 laps to go, is going to try to work with him. So Brandon said football is going to work with Pete Polini. Still about 2 laps to go. He's going to step out and try to get this race win.
And what was that word again? Cooperation. All right, I'm gonna have to work on that. We're gonna have to program that into the AI and see how it defines that for us.
Oh, just ask old DW.
Well, that's okay. That now I understand. If it came from DW, now I understand where you're going with it. And you can see Polini here actually kind of weaving around down the back straightaway. Was he trying to break the draft with Sanfilippo there? Not quite sure. Filippo's kind of dipped his nose to the outside here a couple of times. I think he's just kind of testing the waters to see if Polini's going to jump up there and block him or not.
Well, right now it's 18 laps to go. Polini needs to make that car about 5 lanes wide.
I'd not be surprised here in just a couple of laps if we don't see Taft, Kennedy, and Marquis all team up back here in that 6th, 7th, and 8th spot and try to make a run up here on the outside. 17 laps left to go. The patience is about to be thrown out the window. What do you think? Go ahead.
I don't have right now.
What do you think the odds are these guys are going to make it on fuel?
Not very good if you keep Polini, but because right now Polini is the fuel pig. I mean, it could go either way. But we know Andrew Taft is going.
Yeah, we know Taft, Kennedy, and Marquis definitely going to make it the rest of the way. I am going to have to build some kind of fuel calculator and for some of these races to have a little better understanding of what's going on with it. But I'm going to be surprised if they can go 53, 54 laps under these green flag conditions. We're going to see here at the end, and maybe Andrew Taft knows that, and he's kind of just holding that 6th spot back there, knowing these 5 cars in front of him are going to have to dip in anyway.
The question is, or the question becomes, when do you pull the proverbial carrot?
To pit? Oh, I was trying to get what you're referencing there. I think these guys are just hoping, they can wait it. They're probably waiting until the last minute at this point. Maybe they'll get lucky and catch a caution. Maybe we're completely wrong and they're just going to be, they still got half a tank for all we know.
I mean, maybe my calculator was wrong. My calculator is always wrong, though. But
yeah, we are 50
we go.
down, and here we go down to the pits. Here comes Polini and Sanfilippo diving down to the pits. We actually had it right for a change, and they did not have enough fuel to make it. So that means that Shively and maybe even Blevins are also going to have to dive in here at some point. So they're going to drop out of the lead. I think we're going to see the battle for the battle for the win here is going to come down to our 4th, 5th, and 6th place cars right now, which is Taft, Kennedy, and Marquis. Now Blevins did come in later than Bonelli and Shively. He came in on lap 49. So he's still a big question mark here, whether he has enough fuel to make it the distance. I think Polini and Sanfilippo just waited as long as they could, hoping they were going to catch a break, catch a caution somewhere. But they did come down together, which was good. So they may be able to team up. They're not going to catch us lead pack by any means, but they might be in good shape if we have some kind of a late caution here. We go green, white, checkered. They're going to have fresh tires on. There's still a lot left to go here before it's over with, even though there's only 13 laps left.
I don't think we go green, white, checkered. I don't think we need it.
I would agree with you on that one. But we do have a couple lap cars here in the mix. A 16 car. Torres is right here in the mix. He could shake things up a little bit. Benelli, Shively, Blevins.
Right there. But don't cut out Blevins or Andrew.
No, definitely not. It's just a question mark right now. Who has enough fuel to make it to the end, and who doesn't? We know Teft, Kennedy, and Marquis are going to have enough. The question mark was Benelli and Shively able to save enough fuel just running in that draft here for the last 40 or 50 laps. Did that give them enough fuel here to get to the end? But you know, we saw Polini and Sanfilippo both dive down in here early with about 15 to go. You know, they would not have wanted to stop that early if they didn't have to. And here we go. It looks like the top three are going to dive down in. Benelli, Shively, and Blevins.
That's got to be so disheartening when you have to dive down a pit road with 11 laps to go.
And we are down to, yeah, exactly. I mean, I think they planned it right early, but just a couple things didn't fall their way. I'm sure everybody had planned out when they started this race. They saw we had 35 cars in the field. They planned on probably a few more cautions throughout the event. They didn't plan on 20 cars leaving the race, 20 laps into the race, and us going green this long. We're down to a 3-car battle up here in the front as the 22 and the 16, both lap cars there, Torres and Beverly, getting around Teft, and they're going to drag that 2-car of Kennedy along with him. Nice job from Kennedy diving down behind that lap car of Torres and taking advantage of that draft and pulls himself to the point with Teft and Marquis now, our top 3.
Just to say that Rick Kennedy goes to the point. Andrew Tuck up 25 spots. Aaron Marquis, though, right now he's our biggest mover of the race, up 28 spots.
Yeah, I've been in those positions where you're starting way back in the field like that. Marquis started back there in 31st, and when that green flag fell, there was a lot of iron in front of him. And you know, early on, he was just hoping and praying he could make it through it, and he's going to find himself right up here in the top 3 right now. Unless something crazy happens, he's going to get himself a podium finish here tonight. Just which podium spot is it going to be is the question mark.
Yeah, exactly. We got 9 laps to go. Kennedy, Teft, Marquis. The 16 car going to let these guys go on by and race it out. Andrew Teft going to the inside of Rick Kennedy. I don't know about that move.
Well, I don't know for a fact, but is it possible that the 2-car and the 16 are teammates, and the 2-car jumped up front jumping up to the top thinking that 16 car was going to give him a push? We got 9 laps left to go. We're all over the place in here. Marquis going to go to the front. Teft got to the point and just jumped right up to the outside line. And Marquis just drives right past him like he's standing still. So we got 5 cars here in this lead pack, but only 3 cars battling for the win. The 22 and the 16, both laps down.
Aaron Marquis to the front, and he's got the best drafting partner in Andrew Teft. Haas Beverly just outside and number laps down. Right, 18 laps to be exact.
If you're an F1 fan watching this, you're like, why are there lap cars in the middle of this?
I'm not an F1 fan.
No, but F1 they'd be seeing the blue and yellow flags right now. Move over. But NASCAR racing is a little bit different. You see the same thing with dirt racing. The lap cars don't necessarily have to get out of the way. And as a matter of fact, the lap cars are helping our leaders here. Is that 22 of Beverly pulled Teff back to the front? He is getting a.
That's the one thing that I noticed here. Is even though Beverly's not racing for anything, he's actually helping Andrew Teff out.
He had to go to the car that was 18 laps down to find a friend. Beverly's just pulling him along. Marquis, 7 laps left to go. We're down to 3 cars for the win here. It's going to be either Taft, Marquis, or Kennedy, unless something else happens here. But our other cars that were in the race early, Shively 27 seconds back there in 4th, so they're going to fight out. Shively, Polini, and Filippo going to fight it out for 4th, 5th, and 6th, while Taft, Marquis, and Kennedy are going to fight it out for the podium spots. Seven to go. Hey, I see our good buddy Emmett Crow in the chat saying, "Hey, what's up, fellas?" I don't know when he typed that. It could have been an hour ago for all I know. I just looked up at it.
Hey! Hope Emmett's doing good. Look, you gotta take.
I know how that exactly. 6 to go. It's still Teft out in front. Marquis, Kennedy, our top 3. These lap cars are definitely going to come into play. Beverly's got a good, strong car out there in front. He's just pulling this field along. And we have the 16 of Torres back there. What's he going to do? He's got to have some buddies in here somewhere, so he's looking for somebody to help.
Exactly. We're down to 5 laps to go. Aaron Marquis maybe helping Andrew Teff to win here.
Marquis charged all the way through this field, starting back in 31st up to 2nd. I don't think he's going to help anybody win this. He's going to try to get to the front himself, one way or the other.
4 to go.
Nice National Guard paint job on that 41. We're going to see if that 22 and that 22 car stays out there towards the end of this, or with a couple laps left to go. Is he going to move up out of the way and let these guys race? But as it is right now, Teft is getting a really good draft off that 22.
I don't know. I don't think it works. I think Andrew's going to take Aaron Marquis with him.
So we come off of 4 down through the trial. We're going to go down to 3 laps left to go. We started with 100 laps. We've ran 97. Jeff Marquis, Kennedy, our top 3. We watched Teft win last week in the Gen 4 cars here at Daytona. Is he going to back it up here with a win here tonight? He was the at that time last week, he was the all-time winningest leader in Racers Elite and that was his 41st win. I don't know if he picked up anything else this week, but he looking to pad his stats and to retain his win lead in the Racers Elite League.
Well, as we come down to the trial for one more time, we're going to get 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks are in the air. 2 laps to go.
On your screen, that 22 is out in front, but he's a lap down. It's the 98 of Andrew Teft at the point, the 41 of Marquis there in 2nd. And they've kind of put a little separation on that 2 car of Kennedy, so it may come down to just these 2 here at the end. And then again, just what part is that 22 of Beverly going to play in here as they come down for the white flag here, as they now enter into turn 3 and 4. Come off of turn number 4 down through the trial. It's going to be the white flag here.
I told you we wouldn't need it. Big green white checker.
There's the white flag. The next flag will end the race. Yellow or caution. Taft out in front. Marquis. Kennedy back there in third. Kennedy's going to jump to the outside. And he's going to have a little bit of help from that 16 car of Torres. They're going to get a good round. I'm surprised Taft didn't jump up right now. As I say, here comes Taft, jumps up in front of the 2 car. Cuts off that run of Kennedy on the outside. And it's Taft Kennedy. It looks like the 22. He is not going to move down out of the way, and that's going to hold up Marquis back there. So it's going to come down to Taft or Kennedy as they come off of turn number 4 for the final time. Bring us home there, Alan.
Coming off of turn number 4, Andrew Taft will win here at Daytona, and Gary Marquis will finish second. Rick Kennedy will finish third. Wow, what a finish that was here. From Daytona, Andrew Taft, your winner, top 26 spots. The biggest mover of the race finishes second on the podium, while Rick Kennedy will finish third. We get ready to get these drivers up here for their post-race interviews.
Rounding out the field is going to be Davis Shively back there in 4th, Cody Benelli 5th, Brandon Filippo in 6th. They were all 3 fighting for that lead for a long point until they had to come in for a caution. Stephen Blevins back there in 7th. Pete Polini all the way back to 8th. Blair Holloman 9th. Eric Howard 10th. Brett Bray's going to come home in 11th. Daniel Jackson 12th. Aaron Wright 13th. Ryan DeMolian 14th. In our last 2 running cars on the track, Adrian Torres and that number 16 Toyota is going to come home 15th. And Haas Beverly is going to be our last car running at the end of this race, going to be 16th.
What a finish that was.
Yeah, I'm not sure how happy Marquis is going to be having that lap car, the 22 car, kind of in the mix there. Kind of held up his chance to have a run at the point. We'll get the chance to talk to him here and see how he feels about that. But it was a good run by Andrew and Marquis, both coming from way back in the field to finish 1-2. And actually, Kennedy finishing in 3rd, fell back 2 spots. He was our pole sitter.
Well, just as you say that, we're going to go ahead and talk to our second place driver. I don't see our third place driver up here, but we'll go ahead and talk to second place, and he'll be in the booth with you, Chris.
Hey, Aaron, Chris Murphy. Hey, buddy. Welcome to the booth.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, good run there in 2nd. Did you have anything else left there at the end?
I think if I pushed it a little too hard, I would have sputtered before the line, and it was close. So I wanted to play it safe, and happy for Andrew. So that's good.
Yeah, you started way back there in 31st when this thing started about a couple hours ago. Did you think you had any chance to get to the front when this green flag dropped earlier?
No, and it played out exactly how I thought it was going to play out with those 2 cautions wiping out half the field. The first one, I somehow slithered my way through, and I couldn't believe it, but I made it through that one, and yeah, here we are.
Well, heck of a good run tonight, coming all the way from 31st up to 2nd. You got anybody you want to thank before we let you get out of here?
I guess all my teammates that, I worked together, and especially the 2 car, man, I followed him the entire race, and we kept working together, and yeah, that's what you got to do at these super speedways, just work together.
Good job on another good run, man. We'll hopefully we'll see you again next week somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys.
You bet.
And that was the voice of Aaron Marquis. Up next to the booth, this man needs no introduction. And it's only the one and only Andrew Taft. Andrew, how's it going?
Hey, doing pretty good. How are you?
Hey, look, man, you've been under the weather all week long, getting over a head cold. And, finishing back one, you doubled down. You won the next gen race, or the Gen 4 race last Friday. And then you come over here tonight in the Xfinity car, which, I was telling Chris is your bread and butter. Take us through that race And take us through that mindset if you're not feeling well. Take us through that race and how that affected your driving.
Well, I just wanted to play it safe at the start, and there was that huge wreck there. I basically just stopped in the track to avoid it and crawled my way through. And then I think I had a little netcode incident with maybe the one, but I was able to kind of escape through the middle there. And there was like another late block up at the front somewhere where I kind of got a little bit of contact. But that final yellow there, we were talking about fuel mileage, and I said, what are the chances that it goes green? Probably not very good, right? But it actually did, and the math was pretty much spot on. I ran out right at the line there.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, in winning is definitely the best medicine that you can get. But before we get you out of here, is there anybody you'd like to thank to help you get it done here on this number 98 car?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys at Sim Racing Media for helping out in the booth. Our servicemen and women, my friends, family, team, everybody that tunes in to watch, shows up to race. And if you don't mind doing us a favor, hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel homepage. Trying to get to 500, so everyone helps. And you can find all of our info right over at racerselite.com. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Absolutely, trying to get to 500, just like my St. Louis Cardinals, but that's a different story for a different day. Andrew, thanks for joining us up here in the booth, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, Alan.
And that was the voice of Andrew Tuft. There he goes away. Well, what a race we had here tonight, Chris. But before we get out of here, we're going to take care of one more piece of business, and that is to go over this final results one more time. As you heard from your top three, with David Shipley finishing fourth, Cody Benelli finishing fifth, sixth to go to Brandon Sanfilippo, ninth will go, or seventh to go to Steve Blevins, eighth to go to Pete Pelini, Blair Holloman will finish in that ninth position, 10th to go to Eric Howard, Brett Bray will finish 11th, Daniel Jackson will finish 12th, Aaron Wright will finish 13th, Ryan Dimulin will finish 14th, Adrian Torres will finish 15th, 16th to go to Haas Beverly, Chase Morales will finish 17th, 18th to go to Austin Norris. Finishing 19th will be Jack Kelly, Chris Phillips will finish 20th, Blake Davis will finish 21st, the boss John Ross, Hill Park at 22nd, 23rd will go to Barry Nelson, Steve Castle will finish in that 24th position, Kyle Wells will finish 25th, 26th will go to Andy Schmidt, Christopher Pindell will finish 27th, Trevor Fetting will finish 28th. Finishing 29th will be J.B. Harrison, Terry Fennell will finish 30th, Brian Matthews will finish 31st. Trevor Woodward will finish 32nd. Troy Thomas, the Nitrous Cowboy, will finish 33rd. Right behind him will be Truth Hoke, finishing 34th. 35th will be Cody Carson. Frank Chavez will be 36th. 37th will be Daryl Suzuki and Kelly. And Christopher Polgeis will finish 38th. That will round out your finishing order. Chris, once again, thank you for joining us here on Sim Racing Media on Facebook and the Races Elite Network on YouTube. Before we get out of here, you got any final thoughts?
No, just another good race. So I'm really enjoying doing these Racers Elites. They put on a really good show. The last 2 weeks have been good. We had the field kind of got dwindled down here early. Didn't really expect that as quickly as it happened, but still put on a good show at the end. Andrew Teff coming home again with another win. We kind of called that early, even though he was starting out the back. We really expected him to see out in the front. So congratulations to Andrew, and thanks again for having us here, Alan. We've had a really good time the last few weeks, and we'll hope to see you guys again soon.
Yep. And on that note, as the late great Tony Trapasso would always say, as you walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.